Let's welcome back to Fusion YGO. It is your boy Christian, the Haver Card Man, back at you again with another Master Duel deck profile, and we have been cooking. This is a list that I've bounced playing in the TCG and in Master Duel. If you guys have watched my streams, you've probably seen variations of this deck, which if you're not subscribed to get notifications for when we go live, be sure to do so because they are just a hoot and a holler. So let's just go ahead and not delay any time today and get straight into the deck profile. This is my Chop Shop deck for Master Duel. It's a bit different than what I played in the TCG. Obviously, different format allows for different cards and variations in deck building. So we'll go through the card by card. We'll go through some of the thoughts and theories of this deck and also what it's meant to do. So starting off, we are playing the 1-Jet Synchron, triple Maxi, as is mandatory for the Master Duel format, unfortunately, 3 Scrap Recycler, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, also another pretty common card in the format, 1 Orcust Symbol Skeleton, 1 Crystron Rosenix, 1 Orcust Harp Horror, 1 Codebreaker Zero Day, double Gearsu the Orcust Mech Knight. You could honestly almost cut him to 1. I'm debating on it, but he's good. Triple Scrap Raptor, double Scrap Golem, double Machina Fortress, double Orcust Nightmare, double Kashtira Fenrir, just a good card. 1 Machina Megaform, double World Legacy World Wand, 1 Machina Irradiator, 1 Machina Metal Cruncher, triple Heavy Freight Train Daracrane, 1 Machina Citadel, and 1 Ruin Force to round off the monsters in the main deck. For the spells, we have 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Foolish Burial, triple Fossil Dig, triple Scrapyard, 1 World Legacy Succession, 1 Orchestrated Return, triple Machina Redeployment, double Triple Tactics Talent, 1 Scrap Factory, 1 Orchestrated Babble, 2 Called by the Grave, and triple Urgent Schedule, rounding off the main deck at 60 cards. And like I said, we'll get more into the theory and the purposes of all of these choices here in a minute. For the extra deck real quick, we are playing 1 Ding Gearsu, the Orcust of the Evening Star, 2 Galatea, the Orcust Automaton, 2 Scrap Wyvern, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Lib, the World Key Blade Master, 1 Codebreaker Virus Swordsman, 1 Curious the Lightsworn Dominion, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Codebreaker Virus Berserker, 1 Saryuja Skuldread, 1 Nightmare Griffin, 1 Apollosa Bow of the Goddess, and 1 Access Code Talker. I know right off the bat there is a huge elephant in the room, and that is the number of URs in this deck. You can definitely make some substitutions until you can build up the crafting points to build this deck. But it's just insane. I've gone on a 14-game win streak with this deck so far in ranked, and the only reason that I lost that win streak to begin with was because I got FTK'd by Pendulum, so that's fun. The basic theory of this deck is that it is a 60-card pile to combo going second, and I know it doesn't seem like it's very consistent, but this deck is actually incredibly consistent. You have so many starters from your 3 Fossil Dig, 3 Scrapyard, 3 Scrap Raptor, 3 Scrap Recycler. That's already just 12 on its own. Then you also add in the 3 Urgent Schedules, 15. You have Machina Redeployment for your 18. There's a ton of different combo starters in here that can get you into several different plays, and there is so much flexibility within the way that this deck is built. It's just absolutely incredible. It is fantastic at going second and demolishing boards. It's not the best at going first, but it can definitely accomplish it. This deck is just insane at breaking through boards, playing through disruption, and be able to establish its own board if need be, but really it's excellent at OTKing. If it's just unable to OTK for whatever reason, then you can also just set up your own board that your opponent might have a hard time dealing with. Been an absolutely fantastic deck. I don't think I've really had any issues with it so far. I've been building this strategy for over a year now, easily enough, since I started playing it in the TCG, and the new cards have only made it get stronger and stronger. So the biggest things that we're relying on the scrap package to get our combos going, to send a bunch of machines from our deck to the graveyard with Scrap Recycler. Things like your Orcust combo by sending an Orcust Harp Horror. You also send a World Legacy World Wand to help benefit your Orcust combo, while also providing you access into your Lib, the World Key Blade Master, which gets you World Legacy Succession from deck and allows you to keep playing. Anytime you can summon Scrap Golem, it's just like a +2, because you get to summon Golem and then revive a Scrap Recycler from the graveyard, which then allows you to keep playing. The other nice thing about this deck is that it doesn't really die to a lot of the common things in the format. It can play through like Imperms, Ashes. You can even play through a Max C a lot of times in OTK. There's a good chunk of hands that can play through a Nibiru just fine if you sequence it right. And there's a ton of other things this deck can do. It's just absolutely fantastic. And like I said, just everything it does excels at board breaking, especially when it comes to the extra deck. Scrap Wyvern pops a card on resolution without targeting. Lib shuffles a card on the field without targeting back into the deck. Your Codebreaker package allows you to destroy spells and traps up to 3 if you are in the right situation. Of course, you have access code to help break boards, which is fantastic. You have Machina Citadel, which can be a monster wipe in the right situations. Machina Ruin Force is just a big brute. Everything about this deck, I just absolutely love it. Oh, and Dingirsu is also non-targeting send to the graveyard removal. So everything about this deck is just fantastic at picking apart boards. A good chunk of it is meant to be done on your turn, going second to, once again, OTK, but you can set up stuff to be able to dismantle your opponent's board as they're trying to build it if you're forced to go first, with stuff like your Dingirsu and your Nightmare Unicorn, and even, once again, the Machina Citadel. There's tons of things. And then if you are in that situation where you're forced to go second and break a board, but you don't have enough gas to kill, you can usually set up a Nightmare Griffin with an Apollosa, which is pretty hard for a lot of decks to deal with, especially Kashtira, which is a huge deck right now. On top of that, you also have you can also use that going first as well. There's just everything. I also kind of refer to this deck as the toolbox, because it really does just have a lot of the tools necessary to help extend and break through and beat interruption. It's just absolutely fantastic, and that's how I've gone on a 14 game win streak. I will advise you guys now, it is a bit of a learning curve, so if you kind of want to get a few of the insides of the combos for this deck, the mainline combos, we do have some previous combo tutorials on the channel which might still be relevant. I haven't checked them in a little while, I'll be honest, but the thing is this deck is just so inherently flexible that there are a number of different play lines you can go through to get to the same endpoint. So you really just need to learn how your cards interact with each other. You got to spend a lot of time reading to learn how everything works. So it unfortunately does have a huge learning curve to it, but it has a very high ceiling of success rate. And it's just been an absolutely fantastic deck. Of course, feel free to mess around with your own non-engine ratios, stuff like your triple tactics, change of heart. Feel free to play around with that stuff. The only non-engine I would say is like kind of mandatory is Monster Reborn, just because it's under the same boat as World Legacy Succession, where you can just revive a Scrap Golem, revive a Scrap Recycler, and you have full combo still. It really helps with things like Nibiru and whatnot. If your opponent knows how to stop you at just the right points, or they get lucky and stop you at the right point, then it can be a bit hard. But anyways, guys, not a super long profile today. I just kind of wanted to take you through this. Like I said, I play this on stream quite a bit, so if you want to get more interactions with the deck and learn a little bit more on how it works, feel free to join me in those by hitting that subscribe button and hitting the bell notification so you know when we go live here on YouTube. And of course, you can always watch those VODs at any point, but watching it live is just a lot more fun. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, you guys are fantastic. We are on our goal to hit 2,000 subscribers before long. We've already hit 1,000, and thank you guys so much for getting us to that point. It is absolutely fantastic. So let's keep that grind up and get working to 2K. But anyways, guys, I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, good fun. Have luck.